Not long ago, news leaked that Donald Trump sees one potential way to sort of instill a little bit of confidence in his base, get them a little bit fired up and ready to go. And that was that he's been talking more and more in private about how he's just hot for a Supreme Court seat to open up. And a lot of people, including myself, took those initial reports to mean, oh, he's just waiting for Ruth Bader Ginsburg to die, which seems sort of morbid. But apparently that might not have been the entirety of what he was talking about, because new reports are saying that he is actually expecting potentially, and might have information leading into this, that Clarence Thomas might retire before the 2020 election, opening up a last-minute Supreme Court seat that he could either fill really fast or use to inspire conservative turnout. Now, I have not heard anything from Clarence Thomas implying this. All of this appears to be private and might be baseless. But Brett Ehrlich, if Clarence Thomas, uber conservative, does step down, would that help him win re-election?
No, because the Democrats won't confirm. I don't know. Is it a 50?
Are you sure that they would not?
I don't think it matters. I think they go nuclear. I think this is their last best hope. So there's that. There is no way you could find a more conservative justice than Clarence Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
And how would you know from Clarence Thomas what he's thinking? He never speaks.
That's true.
Like, he is the silentest of the people on the Supreme Court, famous for never really asking a question, for just sitting there and going, I already know what I want to say. I already know what I'm going to write. The only time he opens his mouth is to sexually harass people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so you're right. It might be based on nothing. It might just be, a semi-silent wish, a prayer for the future. But potentially,
God, I hope he retires.
So, yeah, I think that it's likely that it's not just that hypothetically the Democrats could try to block it. And I don't even know that they would because, Democrats. But you need a certain amount of time to, put someone forward, go through the hearings. The idea that you would push that through in a week, I mean, I guess Mitch McConnell's the person that would do it, if anyone would. Maybe they would. Holding it out to inspire Republicans.
Wouldn't let it happen.
Who wouldn't?
Mitch wouldn't let it happen.
Wouldn't let what happen?
Wouldn't let Clarence Thomas retire.
You're saying he would stop him?
Yeah. Why would he allow that to happen? It is.
Does he have control over it?
He would do everything in his power to stop that from happening.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you introduce uncertainty at all?
Well, the idea is that hypothetically, if in some states, especially conservative, we're talking Georgia, we're talking Texas, if you want them to turn out, and if they're kind of just sick of Trump and they're not interested anymore, losing the most reliable conservative vote in the Supreme Court, potentially on the eve of Joe Biden getting control of the court, is one way to get them to turn out.
Right, but the smartest thing to do is to have Clarence Thomas retire after. What you have is a certain thing versus an uncertain thing. The uncertain thing is that this would make any difference in an election where in every other situation and every other circumstance, Donald Trump bungles his chances of winning. And you would then introduce an uncertain thing, which is finding someone who would replace him that's more conservative. Maybe you could do that. But uncertain thing is way worse than a certain thing.
No,
the certain thing for McConnell to do is to see if Trump wins and then get Clarence Thomas to retire.
You're saying before in the meantime, Biden wins, but before Biden gets inaugurated, you're saying do it then?
What am I going to trust Donald Trump to replace to have the right to put the right person in place there? Well, what he did is Gorsuch has been a tie-breaking vote on important Supreme Court decisions since.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but hypothetically,
stupid.
In the past, I have seen that Trump does seem to have less personal preference for these judges and might be willing to talk with Mitch McConnell. Anyway, if you're talking about an uncertainty versus a certainty, the uncertainty is that Trump wins. So why do you want Biden to choose a justice then?
Because even if things are so bad right now, John, that even with this extra and so unproven motivator in this situation, because previously it was a lost cause anyway. McConnell's play was like, all right, fine. Worst case scenario, it's what was going to happen. Merrick Garland happens with someone with a different name, right? In this situation, we have Clarence Thomas, and worst case scenario is we've just created a vacancy for a Democrat to fill. That is so paralyzingly stupid from a strategic perspective that only a Democrat could get behind it.
What I am saying is that potentially they fill it. That's what I'm saying, hypothetically. Anyway, it might end up not coming true at all. Again, he has not said anything publicly about retiring. I'm just saying it is something that he is considering as something that could boost him, whether we agree or not that it actually could.
This is never going to happen. Mitch McConnell's never going to let it happen. They would poison Ginsburg before they do this.
Okay, let's not put that out there.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.